Luke Skywalker? No. R2-D2. Hey, what's going on, guys? Claim Brandalorian. My name is Brandon. As always, if you're in anything in the Star Wars universe, whether that's lore, theories, Funko, Lego, go ahead and consider subscribing. You can always change your mind later. But with that being said, this is kind of an on-the-fly video. Last night at work, a coworker came up to me and said, "Hey, who is the most overrated Star Wars character in your opinion?" And to be fair, I couldn't really think of one off the top of my head right away. And yes, there are some overrated characters, 100%. But at the same time, we went to the second question, who is the most underrated character? Right off the top of my head, automatically, I said R2-D2. And I will forever say that with my chest. I'll always stand on that. I'll always be on that hill. R2-D2, the most underrated character in all of Star Wars. And something short and sweet, so let's go ahead and get into it. You know, as a kid, watching the original trilogy, I was like, man, R2-D2 is almost in every scene, every big impactful scene. And especially being a prequels guy, that's what I grew up with. He's always with the main character, you know, he's with Anakin side by side. In the original trilogy, he's always with Luke, you know, always by the Skywalker side. And then even fast forwarding to the sequel era, obviously in The Force Awakens, R2-D2 is kind of in coma mode, like rest, standby, and he's really sad that Luke's not around. So I think these all back up the reason. Kind of going into depth, let's talk about some highlights. And we can be funny and start with episode 1. He is the only droid that doesn't get shot off the ship when it needs fixed. Come on, never underestimate a droid. He also disables the autopilot on Anakin Skywalker's N1 Naboo starfighter. And then we jump to Attack of the Clones. When Padme almost gets burned alive, who saves her? Not Anakin Skywalker. R2-D2. And then of course this is all about R2-D2, but Kit Fisto notices C-3PO, pushes him down, and R2-D2 comes and pulls his head off and puts it back onto his body later. So C-3PO could have been a battle droid, but R2-D2 was not having that. Who hits the buzz droid center eye? R2-D2. Now we're in Revenge of the Sith. Of course, always by Anakin's side. Who is the one that causes the distraction for Obi-Wan and Anakin to then retrieve their lightsabers back from General Grievous? R2-D2. He's that guy. And of course we get the infamous scream probably 3 or 4 times just on the invisible hand alone. It's one of the memes for R2-D2 is that scream. It's iconic. How can an underrated character be so iconic? Actually, a little side quest. If we were to take a poster of R2-D2 and walk into a Walmart, let's say, even in my small town in Kansas, and say, hey, who is this? I bet 8 out of 10 people would then say, oh, that's R2-D2. Or even C-3PO, at least get it wrong, but in the same ballpark. Once we get to A New Hope, this is where R2-D2 literally takes Star Wars by storm. The first movie in R2-D2 is encrypting a message to send from Princess Leia Organa to then Ben Kenobi.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
He's the centerpiece for this message. He is the middleman. And alongside with C-3PO, he helps power down the trash compactor. And then who fixes Luke's stabilizer not once, but twice? R2-D2. Who then sends the Death Star plans to the rebellion? Galen Erso, Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor, Luke Skywalker? No. R2-D2. And then we fast forward to The Empire Strikes Back. Played a very good role, of course, and also not wanting to leave Luke's side, especially on Bespin Cloud City, because the last time he left a Skywalker by themselves, he never saw them again.
R2, stay with the ship.
So he doesn't want to go through that again. Obviously, R2, he has emotions. And then we go to one of the most iconic scenes of R2-D2, in my opinion, of course, in Return of the Jedi, when he is the best server in the galaxy. And then who also keeps Luke's lightsaber inside of their dome and sends it to Luke when he needs it. R2-D2 also electrocutes Salacious B. Crumb, sending him up into the rafters and speaks gibberish. So yeah, this is R2-D2 in Return of the Jedi. Gotta love it. In the Ewok village, he was the one that set everyone free, especially when they got captured by the Ewoks. And then like I was mentioning earlier, we get to The Force Awakens. R2-D2 comes out of his little coma and he ends up giving them the missing puzzle piece to finding Luke Skywalker. Seeing Rey come to help in The Last Jedi, wanting to get training from Luke, even Chewbacca comes into the picture, learns about Han Solo, recollecting on everything with Ben Solo. R2-D2 is the one that gets Luke to finally man up and help. And it's a good scene, you know, however Luke is portrayed in the sequels, take it however you do, but I thought it was great. Just the relationship being rekindled, and you could definitely tell with Luke he was ready to come back. And you'd never guess, you'd think if your mind got erased and you had to speak in a Sith code that you're actually forbidden to speak, luckily your best friend, and his name is R2-D2, he's able to restore C-3PO's memory. He's back to normal. It was kind of a sad scene. C-3PO's talking about this is the last time he's going to look at his friends. And yeah, you know, especially with that being the last film in the Skywalker saga, it's kind of like, well, Han Solo's gone, Luke's gone, Leia's gone, C-3PO might meet his demise as well. But no, R2-D2 saved the day once again. And you know, these are just some of the little things, you know, like R2-D2, very impactful. These are reasons why he is an underrated character. He's been through it all, he's seen it all, knows everybody knows him. And how can you hate R2-D2? Really good Clone Wars arcs as well. He was always right there with Padme and Anakin in the Clone Wars. So hopefully we can see more of him in the Mandoverse, especially when he comes back with Luke still being his right-hand man when they save Grogu. Just all those little things like that makes him great. But with that being said, drop it down in the comments. Who is your most underrated character in Star Wars? Let me know. Do you agree with me? Is it R2-D2? Who is it? Let me know. That being said, as always, you guys take it easy. Claim Brandalorian. I'm out.